back to another episode of the League Winners Fantasy Podcast. As you can see, AJ has returned.
I did not die!
He's back, and we're happy to have him. And I know you just heard, 4 days until football. Thursday, the preseason begins. We're all very excited here.
It's the Jaguars and the Raiders. I am so excited.
At least we'll get some football, and season's getting closer. You know what that means? It's mock draft time.
It is mock draft time.
Almost August, and it's time to start looking at who we're going to be drafting. We've been discussing some players like during these past couple episodes. Now we're going to get to see how we're going to actually draft them. We randomized the draft order. AJ has the 3rd pick today. I have the 12-team draft PPR. I'm not excited about the 12th pick, but we'll see what can happen. We do have a little bit of news as well.
We do. Big
Julio
news.
Jones signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We'll get into the NFC South hopefully next week, so we'll break this down more in depth. But this just really is really interesting. We're gonna have a lot to talk about this later for sure.
Yes.
Another
news.
Yep.
Somebody retired today, boys.
Chris Carson retires. He had, if you remember last year, had the neck injury.
Yep.
He's decided better not to risk it.
He saw Drew Lock was his quarterback, and he decided to retire.
Ken Walker and Rashad Penny are the other 2 guys there. Neither of their values changed on my half because I didn't think he'd play anyways.
Yeah.
And then our final note of news coming out of training camp. All 32 teams have started training camp, and
the Washington Commanders have exactly 2 fans showing up to training camp. If you saw the photo, very exciting news for the Commanders.
Oh yeah, but Chase Claypool suffered a shoulder injury.
He was doing a TikTok and he threw his shoulder out, so we're ready to go.
Mike Tomlin doesn't expect him to miss much time or any time at all, really, but we'll keep an eye on that as the season gets
And make
closer.
sure Mike Tomlin's mind state goes directly to football now. He does not have to worry about Chase Claypool for now.
All right, AJ, you ready to get this draft on?
Yes.
Obviously, we can't really. We gave it an effort to try and project the draft up on the board for you guys, but that's not going to work.
So the first 2 picks were Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey.
So
I'm sitting here at the 3rd pick, right? I need a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, a flex, and bench players. So my first opinion is to get a bench player. You already know. We got to get ourselves, what's the worst player on the board? Matthew Stafford. No. All right, let's look at this. So I'm at the 3rd pick, right? I'm looking at my projected, and the first 2 on my projected already went. So now I'm looking, and there are some very good running backs on the board.
Well, before you do anything, this has been the point. Those are the top 2 guys, no questions asked.
Exactly.
After that, in a PPR league, some people have gone wide receiver with either Cooper Kupp or
Yep.
Justin Jefferson. Are you looking that way at all, or are you just looking running back here?
Honestly, I think I'm going to go running back here.
Okay, that's what I would do as well. But
knowing the teams and knowing their mindsets, I'm going to go running back, and I'm going to go Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, he is my number 3 ranked running back,
Yep.
and I've seen some people taking Derrick Henry there, but no really wrong.
I would not take Derrick Henry here. He's going to get way too much of a load and get hurt.
Derrick Henry went 4th, followed by Justin Jefferson, Najee Harris. It's a little early. Cooper Kupp, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams, and Jamar Chase.
The gritty man already went.
Both of them. Both gritty men.
Both gritty.
So, looking at who I have left on my big board here, my highest ranked player left is Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Right next to him is DeAndre Swift. Both of these guys are still on the board right here for me. And I mean, I think in today's NFL, where running backs get injured and there's a lot more wide receivers, so you can get solid fantasy value from the running backs. If I look, when I get back up to pick next, my top running back options will be like David Montgomery and Antonio Gibson. And so do I really want one of those guys as the top 2 running back? So there's 2 ways I can approach this. I can either completely tank the running back and take Travis Kelce and Stephon Diggs, or I could go double running back, which I am going to do with DeAndre Swift and Aaron Jones, both of them on my team.
Which means
I have 2 running backs.
Now let's look at the next picks that get taken once we get to me. And it's still going. These drafters are very slow. Alright, so Travis Kelce, then Nick Chubb, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Saquon Barkley. I do not like saying his name because his quad is just going to break. Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews, Alvin Kamara. So now I'm looking at my team, right?
Now, if you remember earlier, you were the one talking about maybe taking quarterbacks a little earlier.
Yes, I am very high on taking quarterbacks a little bit earlier because
Josh Allen is here.
I see Mr. Quarterback Man, Josh Allen from Buffalo. You know Buffalo really love their fans, right? They have some very high tables that they jump through. I will demonstrate that once we get to the season. But for now, because I'm looking at this, right? And I have my pick, and then there's 4 picks, and then I pick again. So if I were to take quarterback here, I'm missing out on potential another running back or a wide receiver. But I'm going to take Josh Allen.
I was going to say Leonard Fournette was there, and that's the guy I probably would have gone with. And
Fournette is still
He
available.
made it back to you. So
He
we
did.
had Debo Samuel, Mike Evans, Javonte Williams, and Ezekiel Elliott go.
I am not
Fournette
very
made it
high
back.
on Zeke anyway, so I'm
Yep.
going to take Leonard Fournette.
That was good. You played the game looking like, do you think he can get back? You have to do that in your draft.
did.
You're looking.
Exactly.
Josh Allen on different sites will have
Oh,
different
wow.
players.
Looking at this very next pick, the man who has never scored a touchdown in the United States, Kyle Pitts, got taken right after my pick. Then we got A.J. Brown, who got traded in an amazing trade. Patty Mahomes, then T. Higgins, Justin Herbert, James Conner, Keenan Allen, and Deontay Johnson. Now we're back over to Dalton.
We are. And before I pick, I wanted to point out something really smart AJ did with the Josh Allen pick. When you look at different sites, they have different ADPs. And when you're drafting with players that aren't as into fantasy, they'll typically go more with the ADP who the site suggested to take.
Yep.
So AJ made a smart choice taking Leonard Fournette first. There's no guarantee that Josh Allen would have made it back to him, but he had a better chance of getting that running back he wanted back. Now I'm up, and I gotta say I don't like the draft board. I was hoping Keenan Allen or Deontay Johnson would get to me.
Yeah.
I would have been very happy with those guys in my wide receiver one. There's a couple tight ends here that fell to me. Waller and Kittle both came back to me, and I typically don't like drafting tight end early. But I mean,
But it would be a good decision to take a tight end here.
Darren Waller is my tight end 3, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't love the value other places on the board right now. Top wide receivers out there are Terry McLaurin and Jalen Waddle. I'm not super high on Waddle. I mean, I don't have to look at my rankings here. Who's gonna make it back to me? Am I gonna like the wide receivers come back around? And I think I do like the wide receivers come back around. So I'm gonna take a risk here.
Mhm.
I am just gonna be tanking the wide receiver position
Ooh.
early here. I'm going to reach a bit here on some upside. So Cam Akers is there as well.
Yep.
Another player who I have actually ranked a little bit higher than I would have thought I did. He's ranked pretty much the highest player on the board right now for me. I'm gonna take Darren Waller at tight end, secure my tight end position.
Okay.
And then I'm taking a fly on the rookie. I'm going to take Breece Hall, rookie running back from the Jets. He's not as high in my rankings, but he's my 3rd running back.
Yep.
So this is a only upside pick. He might not even end up playing week 1 for me, but if he ends up taking a workload of the carries and plays well, I have him and I can sign him right into that flex spot.
Now
That's the benefit of taking the 2 running backs
Exactly.
early.
Now looking at the next picks, Cam Akers, George Kittle, David Montgomery, Jalen Waddle, Antonio Gibson, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, and Jerry Jeudy.
DK Metcalf just signed an extension.
He did.
Yep, so he's locked in.
I
That's why
would-
we got a hold out there.
If he was looking at me straight in the eye and asked for an extension, I would give it to him, scared of what he could do to me.
Oh,
Now,
you have some good options here.
I do
at the
have some
receiver
very good
position.
options.
Having no
I'm not
receivers.
looking at Michael Pittman, no.
Really? Why not? No, I gotta ask. Why not Michael Pittman?
Because it's Michael Pittman.
I'm pretty high on Michael Pittman this year. I have him as wide receiver, something high, and wide receiver 14, 15 this year. And I mean, as your first wide receiver, who are you looking at though? I want to hear what you have to say here.
DJ Moore.
You're looking
I
at
just
DJ
love DJ Moore.
Really?
Exactly.
Interesting.
Looking at Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield that cannot throw the ball very far, and seeing DJ Moore right there, he's going to get a hefty workload this season.
I don't disagree with you. I have him ranked slightly below Pittman, so I would understand the pick of.
I would say
Moore.
take DJ Moore over Pittman in my opinion,
Now,
just because of the workload.
can I ask you a question here? Are you
Yes.
regretting taking Josh Allen over
Nope.
Mike Evans now that there's like a Lamar and Joe Burrow here right in your wheelhouse where you could have had Mike Evans? I'm just asking. I'm curious.
I like Josh Allen.
You're happy with Josh Allen?
I
Okay, well,
am
I'm just
very
interested
happy
to
with
see
Josh
if you have any regrets from your picks or anything like that.
Oh, no regrets. Whenever
Okay.
you pick, you have no regrets. You
Interesting.
never
I like
have
it. I
regrets.
like
So I'm
it.
going to
I
take
like
DJ Moore here and see what comes
Taking
up
DJ
next.
Moore, Travis Etienne, Michael Pittman, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Jacobs off the board. AJ has currently Austin Eckler, Josh Allen, and Leonard
Yep.
Fournette, and DJ Moore going in here. Are you taking one of those receivers? You're gonna reach on J.K. Dobbins? I mean, I'm not as high on J.K. Dobbins. I don't know how you feel about him as your 3rd running back, but I don't love J.K. Dobbins because of the injury risk.
Yep.
Yeah, the injury risk of him being hurt. He's currently on the PUP list.
Yep.
I have him way lower than consensus as my RB44.
Yeah.
Wide receivers here that he's looking at: Amari Cooper, Cortland Sutton, Mike Williams. Mike Williams is interesting. When I talked about him, AJ wasn't here. Boom bust guy right there, Mike Williams. What are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at a tight end.
Which one? There's 2 right there, back to back. T.J. Hawkinson and Dalton Schultz.
Yes. So there's a reason I'm looking at tight end here, because after that, I see tight end fall off, apart from just Dallas Goedert and
Got it,
Zach
yeah.
Ertz.
I agree. There's the fall off. Yeah.
After those two, I would say tight ends are very hard to come by.
Late round tight end at that point. I'm with you here. So
And I really want a good tight end this season. I struggled at tight end all season last year. Every time I made a trade, it never worked out. So I need a tight end. And Dalton.
You're taking Dalton Schultz.
I am taking Dalton
Interesting.
Schultz.
I think I have Hawkinson ranked higher.
I do. No, I have Dalton Schultz.
Do you? Let me look at this. I have Hawkinson ranked one above. I have them back
So
to back in my rankings.
they're intertwined.
It's interesting. We're currently going at different strategies. AJ is grabbing 2 positions early. The tight end and quarterback early. I got a tight end early, but I'm loading up on running backs. It's gonna be interesting to see how our drafts pan out.
Exactly.
Reading off who went next. Marquise Brown. Didn't even think of him up there. Elijah Mitchell, Mike Williams, J.K. Dobbins, Amon-Ra St. Brown from the Lions.
Yeah.
Get on him next week. Amari Cooper, Kyler Murray, and Miles Sanders.
Big news. Kyler Murray does not want to look at game film. He would rather be playing on his Xbox doing game film than actually watching game film.
So, I'm going to be honest with you. I am very happy how this board fell in.
I can see this, and I'm looking at this person.
I don't know if you. I think you know who I'm looking at.
And
here.
he's called Joe Burrow for a
Oh
reason.
no, I'm looking at a wide receiver.
Ooh.
My wide receiver 9, who actually I'm sorry, my apologies. Wide receiver 8 on my board, who I am not grabbing early in drafts, but he is my highest upside player. Probably the guy I think has the most potential in the NFL for this season. I'm gonna go grab Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
My wide receiver
Perfectly
1.
fell.
And I was so happy. I was checking the ADP when I made my pick for Brees Hall. Saw that there was a chance he fell to me, and I decided I was going to take the risk. With my wide receiver 1, I am very happy with this. Now I'm looking at either a second wide receiver or a quarterback here. TJ Hawkinson's here. Obviously, I'm not going to take him. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and AJ Dillon at running back. The wide receivers are a little bit riskier, so I'm going to have to take a look here for a second. Guys that are here, Cortland Sutton, that's the risk reward right there because I don't know if I trust him. Is he going to be the guy for Russ? And I don't think I trust him. Looking at my rankings, I don't think I trust him. I think I'm going to be already wide receiver at 36. Allen Robinson's here. Chris Godwin's injured. I'm not pushing Chris Godwin this early in drafts. Allen Robinson, Michael Thomas. I think I'm going to take another high upside flyer. When you're grabbing, if you either take the wide receiver or running back position, you typically want to grab those high upside guys if you're grabbing them later. So I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney from the Chicago Bears as my high upside wide receiver. He's their only wide receiver, and I think he could have a breakout year this year. Have him ranked up there right by Mike Williams, so I would have loved to have, but I'm very happy with my receiving core after tanking it in the draft. Joe Burrow went right after me, which is that Team 11 is the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack, which is very exciting. Then Chris Godwin, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Cortland Sutton, Allen Robinson, TJ Hawkinson, Damian Harris, and Michael Thomas. So AJ, you only have one receiver at this point in the draft.
I do.
There's also AJ Dillon up there. I don't know how you feel about AJ Dillon this year, but there's a bunch of options at wide receiver, and a lot of young guys. Drake London, Rashad Bateman, young guys. Adam Thielen and Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm gonna be intrigued to see what you do here.
I just have one question. Who's in Paris? Drake London is in Paris, and Drake London is my pick here. I'm taking a rookie here. I'm very high on him. I really think he is gonna come out this season very good.
So as your wide receiver 2, that's a very this is a high upside pick.
Yeah.
I like it. I would probably personally go with a safer option, like an Adam Thielen.
Probably,
he's
but
gonna get targets.
Yeah.
But this is why you want draft. So I'm gonna be interested to see how your team turns out. You might not like
this season. I'm very high on taking players, just going straight for it. I do not want to be safe this season and mess up. Looking at the next pick.
Well, your running backs are very safe. So you're the safe. Well, that's the smart thing you did.
High point safe.
Yes, you did the safe early running backs, and then you took risks at receiver. So that's a very smart strategy. And that's why you're shooting at the quarterbacks and tight ends early, because those are the high upside plays that can win you your league or lose you your league, depending upon if you hit or not.
Exactly. Now looking at the next picks, it was Adam Thielen, Kareem Punt, DeAndre Hopkins, and Jalen Hurts.
Before you discuss your options here, what do you think about DeAndre Hopkins being picked in the 7th round? With the
I think
suspension?
that is absolutely terrible.
Okay, me too. I was going to show you agree on this.
Honestly, I will be surprised if people take him. I will see him on waiver wire maybe. I'm thinking he's a very late round pick.
I would love to grab him in like the 10th round, but he's obviously not going to fall that far. But taking him this early, he is the 3rd wide receiver on this team. But when you could have a flex caliber player where you could grab somebody who could play in your flex, you could grab Juju, you could grab Rashad Bateman, Devonta Smith. Those are the guys that you want to grab right here. And
well, I want to pick Juju just because it's Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes has a brother.
Yes, but on the AFC West breakdown, I discussed this a little bit about how with the Chiefs you don't know who the guy's going to be, and you got to call your shot. If you want to take one of them's going to be A lot of good reports coming out of
Yeah.
camp. I think that's a good high upside flex pick.
Now looking at my team, I have my flex position and the bench left. So basically, I can take what I believe is best here. And AJ Dillon has fallen a little bit.
I'm surprised by that.
Technically.
I'm surprised by the AJ Dillon fall right now.
Yeah, but just looking at here, I'm gonna take wide receivers and running backs. I would probably shoot on Dillon, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot on Dillon just because he's fallen a little bit. Just take him and enjoy
So
it.
yeah, your team update for AJ: Josh Allen at quarterback, Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette at running back,
Yep.
DJ Moore, Drake London at receiver, Dalton Schultz at tight end, and AJ Dillon in the flex. We just saw a QB run go as Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott went back to back, followed by Ken Walker in Seattle. Juicy Smith-Schuster finally comes off the board. Zach Ertz, Elijah Moore, Cordero Patterson, and Devonta Smith missed him by one pick. I would have loved Devonta Smith right there. I really want to find a safer option at receiver right now because I do have two guys that are the number one guys on their team, and Rashad Bateman is sitting there calling my name, and if I do take him, that's three of the same situation.
With Hollywood Brown leaving,
Yep.
taking away all the drop passes, it leaves Bateman wide open, which would be a perfect pick here.
Yeah, so there's not really a safe option at receiver.
Well, you have
anymore.
back-to-back picks. So
I do, and I think I know where I'm going with one of them. I have a safer option at running back. I like that. I'm going to go for my second pick, but for the first pick, I think I'm just continue to shoot upside at receiver, and I'm going to take Bateman.
Yep.
Just the chance of him having a breakout is there, so I'm going to grab Rashad Bateman, and with my second pick,
Now looking at your team still,
I don't have a quarterback.
you do not have a quarterback.
I don't have a quarterback.
And I see Thomas and Brady.
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers at the top of the draft.
Now,
board
if
right
you're
now.
sitting at your draft position, right, and the two
I'm in
best
the eighth round right now.
eighth round,
Yes.
and you have Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers looking at you, who are you picking?
If I were to pick one of them, I would take Rodgers. I think actually, let me check this really quick.
Well, I also
I have
wanna know
Rodgers
why.
ranked above Brady
Yep.
because of the running ability. Rodgers is getting older. He still has the ability to run a little bit, get maybe a rushing touchdown, and I think that he will throw the ball more. Brady, they're going to be a little more run heavy in Tampa Bay this year. I think Rodgers, even without Devontae Adams, will swing the ball all over the field. The reason I'm not taking the quarterback is because I still see a couple guys. If you look down, I mean, Trey Lance and Derek Carr are projected to be there at my next pick, and those are guys that I don't mind having in my quarterback position. And when I can grab another running back or another receiver to beef up my stuff, injury risk kind of gets negated a little bit. There's no safe receivers on the board, so I'm going to go after who I think is one of the most underrated running backs. I have him ranked as the RB, holy cow, really high, 17, RB 17, getting him in the 8th round, Rashad Penny in Seattle. Ken Walker's gone. Ken Walker is going before Rashad Penny in drafts, whereas Rashad Penny is the number one back at the moment. I think that's a safer pick. I'll do a quick team update. I have no quarterbacks, but I have DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Breece Hall, and Rashad Penny at running back, Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney, and Rashad Bateman at wide receiver, and Darren Waller at tight end. I'm really liking how my team turned out grabbing Waller early. I was a little scared of that, but I'm not really happy how this worked. After I picked Rashad Penny, Gabriel Davis, Treylon Burks, Dallas Goedert comes off the board, Devin Singletary, Tom Brady, Tony Pollard, Hunter Renfrow, and Brandon Ayuk, setting the table back up for AJ. What are you looking at here? Who's the top of your board right now?
Well, I see this guy called Tyler Lockett, but the problem is he's getting throws from Drew Lock.
Maybe, who's there? Teddy Bridgewater? Geno Smith? Which one is there?
Oh, there's
I don't even know
4 quarterbacks there. So
Geno Smith is who's there.
Oh.
He could be Geno Smith. Might not be Drew Lock. It's QB battle. QB competition in Seattle. You know, neither of those good options. Would you
All 3 of them are bad options. I don't know what you mean by that.
Would you be willing to take a second rookie wide receiver? That seems like a bit of a risk.
It would be a big risk. I think I have taken my rookie wide receiver, and I'm happy with him.
Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave are both here towards the top.
Yeah.
Also here, Robert Woods. If you trust him to be healthy, that's an option. You can also grab Chase Edmonds at running back. Chase Claypool, Al Lazard is another player that's down there. Lazard is the supposed QB wide receiver one in Green Bay this season. Aaron Rodgers has said good things about him in camp. Tight end is Dawson Knox is there, but you already grabbed his tight end. Which I feel like the early tight end can sometimes put a handicap on your draft. Because right now, you can grab Dawson Knox, or if you have a quarterback, but you already have those positions, so it makes you don't want to draft another one early. And it kind of handicaps you on where you can go. I'm intrigued to see what you do here, especially with 2 picks in the same area. I'm interested to see what happens.
Well, I'm looking at my wide receivers, and I have Treylon Burks and Robert Woods basically intertwined on that Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
who is going to be the healthy one coming out of the season.
And Robert Woods has received good reports out of camp of his health looking like he's going to make an early recovery.
But that's also the problem. It's training camp.
It is. But it's always a good sign. It's better than them saying, "Oh, his recovery is not going well."
Exactly. They're saying he's hoping to be ready to play for week 1, and I do not like hearing hopefully. I want 100% certainty.
I actually have Tyler Lockett as my highest rated receiver on the board currently. For me personally, I know you have a little bit
I
different.
do as well.
Followed by
So-
Alan Lazard, Chase Claypool, and then Garrett Wilson.
Yeah. I also
Uh,
have Tyler Lockett.
I think when he's not going to be playing for you in the opening week, you have plenty of guys you can plug into your flex spot.
Yep.
He's a guy that's kind of a riskier pick, but he's been consistent his whole career. It is a new quarterback situation, but is it worth having a guy that's put it up for his career to have behind Drake London? And he did do Tyler Lockett.
I did do Tyler Lockett.
Dawson Knox, Chase Edmonds, James Cook, the rookie in Buffalo,
And
and
Garrett
Garrett Wilson follow. Now you're looking at you got an even balance of wide receivers and running backs.
Yep.
Who are you looking at? The board's open right now for you.
Well, wait, Claypool got hurt. I forgot about that. He did
Right,
shoulder.
the injury, it's looking like he's going to make a recovery.
Well, it's
Day to day.
day to day. It's week to week, and then it turns into month to month. It's just
Both players should be ready well in time for week 1. I'm intrigued to see what you do here. There's a lot of options.
there
And
is.
I mean, when you're at this point in your draft, you're looking for a guy in AJ's position at wide receiver who's probably safer, which might be a Claypool over a Crystal Olave who's a higher upside. Whereas a running back, he could be looking for a high upside player, like maybe Melvin Gordon, who's the second running back, but has the potential to be the first guy should Javonte Williams go down, because he has the safer running backs already. He can
Yeah.
take a flyer on a guy like Melvin Gordon. But I'm interested. Let's see. What
I'm
you
gonna
do here.
take a big flyer here. Christian Kirk.
Really?
Yes.
So the number 1 receiver down in Jacksonville. Okay.
I want to take
Yeah.
him just because he's number 1. You know, he's gonna get the most targets. He's getting it from a guy that I also have high upside in Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence,
So I'm gonna take him here. Very high upside bench player.
I do like the pick. It's an interesting pick. It's
And it's also a good way to see him this Thursday night on whatever channel it's on.
He's probably not going to play his preseason, and he's pretty good at football.
Oh,
But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's always fun to see that, like taking a risk on a guy,
yeah,
especially at this point in your draft. There's no safe option.
exactly.
That's a good pick. Melvin Gordon with the pick after,
Yep.
followed by Mike Gesicki, Russell Gage. I'm surprised he hasn't fallen more with the Julio Jones signing. I'm sure as your draft gets closer, Russell Gage's value will drop a
Ooh,
little
2
bit.
big QBs got taken.
Chris Olave, Aaron Rodgers, and Matthew Stafford, Chase Claypool, and Pat from Mayfield.
Matthew got taken. Stacked.
So I'm looking at the quarterback position now. I believe I'm the only team in this draft without a QB,
Looking at it here, a team took 2 quarterbacks already.
and I have none. So I think I definitely need to attack the QB position. It's between Trey Lance and Derek Carr for me.
See when the
I have
decision.
them one spot apart, and it's like less than a point per game separating them. I think I have 3 total points for the season separating them, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take Derek Carr. I have Trey Lance ranked 1 spot above Derek Carr,
Yeah.
but it's the safer pick. Trey Lance is unknown.
Technically the safer pick.
Trey Lance is unknown. We have no idea what he's going to do. He's played 3 NFL games in his career.
Exactly.
He could be the QB1 this year, or he could end up not even starting and they could put Jimmy Garoppolo back in.
Yep.
I am going to take Derek Carr in the back of the 9th rounds and feel like I just got an absolute massive value. That's why I waited on QB.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'd rather have Josh Allen than Derek Carr.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with the way that I ended up with the quarterback. I still like. Now I'm looking and I have 3 receivers and 4 running backs, so I think I can go either way here. Robert Woods and Alan
He is
Lazard.
still there.
I could grab handcuffs, right? Handcuffs could discuss in fantasy football. When you grab the backup to your starting running back, so if your starting running back goes down, you have the backup that slides into
Yeah.
that role. Michael Carter is here, the backup running back for the New York Jets.
He is.
He would be one of the higher ranked running backs on the board right now for me.
He's played a year. He's 23, 5'8", 201.
I want to hear your thoughts on Michael Carter.
Give me 1 quick second to search him.
Also here, Ramondre Stevenson at running back and Isaiah Spiller, the rookie on the Chargers. Wide receivers, Robert Woods, Alan Lazard, Sky Moore, Christian Watson, and Kadarius Toney.
Yes. Well, I have Carter ranked 38th, just behind Stevenson from the Patriots and above Ronald Jones.
Okay, yeah. So
I think he's a good just bench running back. I think it would be a good decision here if you take the backup just in case.
that's what I'm looking at, but I am so want to do this. Okay, so I have absolutely zero stability at the wide receiver position. That is clear as day to me. Is that I don't have stability there, and so instead of adding more stability, I'm going to go draft Kadarius Toney. And
make it
just
even
at
more.
this point, it's dartboards.
Hey, isn't it Kadarius Toney the guy who had negative receiving yards?
Yes, but he's looked good at camp so far. Solid reports coming out of camp, and that's a risk I'm going to take. Once you get down to these later rounds, especially if you tank a position like I did, not drafting one to the 5th round at wide receiver, you gotta start getting a little bit more creative.
Yeah.
And rather than taking a running back handcuff, I already have a lot of some running backs and feel confident in if one would go down. I'm taking Tony.
Here, I'm just gonna start taking bench players. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna,
while we've been off
you
where we're at, Alan Lazard, Ramondre Stevenson, Robert Woods, Michael Carter, James Robinson, Trey Lance goes. That's a great QB2 pick. If you ask me, he's behind Patrick Mahomes. He'll play 1 week, but Sky Moore and Christian Watson. So AJ, what's the move here?
Ronald Jones. I love what he did with the Bucks.
Okay, yeah, he's in Kansas City now. Did you before you lock in? Oh, you locked it in.
I
But
already did lock it.
reports coming out of Kansas City are that Isaiah Pancaro, the rookie,
Yep.
has looked really good and has a chance to leapfrog Ronald Jones on the depth chart. Now these are just camp reports. There's obviously nothing set in stone here, and it's the rookie. They're always going to hype up the rookie. That's just an interesting thing I saw
Yeah.
today. Cole Kmet, Kirk Cousins. I would love Kirk Cousins. at quarterback.
Wow, Mr. Monday Night.
Isaiah Spiller and Michael Gallup come off the board.
Yeah.
You haven't been able to, see any handcuffs for you, AJ.
Not really. I've had such a.
I'm really intrigued
Yeah.
by your wide receiver position for just the entirety of it. All of your receivers have question marks from either quarterback play or the fact that they're a rookie.
Yeah.
Or a new team. And it's interesting just to see how the team's looking. What are you going to do here? We have 4 rounds left.
I might take just a solid wide receiver. I'm gonna take Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd is a great pick here. That's exactly what I was about to start leading you towards is Tyler Boyd.
It's
I
just
like that
I
pick.
need one safe wide receiver, and that's all I
And
need.
he's a guy you can plug in on a bye week
Yeah.
for somebody, and he could get 120 yards and a touchdown because that Bengals offense is just potent.
Because
I love that pick.
they
love
just
that pick.
love the gritty, and that's all you need.
No, he's the 3rd wide receiver, but very
Safe.
play. I'm very happy with that pick for you. Alexander Madison, MVS,
Wow, Deshaun
Damian
Watson.
Pierce. I would love to get Damian Pierce, but he gets drafted. Watson,
Wow, this
Albert
team had Tom.
Kabunga. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Hunter Henry, Naheem Hines, and Jarvis Landry.
But looking at the team, they have Tom Brady and Deshaun Watson.
That's a fun combo.
That would be a great locker room.
I'm gonna go ahead and do something I typically wouldn't do in a draft.
Ooh.
I'm gonna grab a backup quarterback early, because Derek Carr isn't the best quarterback. He's a safe guy. You're gonna get some points every week. I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab Tua.
So here's my opinion. I do not
go
like
ahead, yes.
Tua just because my friend and my bestest friend, RJ, loves Tua, and he is a big Miami fan.
Oh yeah, no, he is. That's a true statement. Actually, I might have lied. I'm looking, and Justin Fields is still here.
I love Justin Fields.
I do too. I expect big things from Justin
I
Fields
do.
this year. I also have Darnell Mooney on my team. That'll give me a Bears stack. I think I'm gonna take Justin Fields
Yep.
as my backup quarterback. If he has a breakout season, I can plug him in over Derek Carr and not sweat it at all. And if he doesn't play as well, he plays 1 week over Derek Carr and it's fine. My other pick, Jameson Williams is here.
He is.
Oh, this is so tempting. He is so explosive, but he's out for training camp. He's not getting to build up that chemistry. I actually really dislike all of the options I'm looking at. Rashad White might be the best move for me. You know what? I think I am going to take Rashad White, the rookie running back in Tampa Bay. Second guy to Leonard Fournette. I have some safe running backs right now. He's a high upside in case of injury. And maybe a trade him if he has a big game. Anything like that. I'm glad I was able to grab that. Tua goes the next pick.
Yep.
Irv Smith, Tyler Algier, Jameson Williams, Rondale Moore, Darrell Henderson, Trevor Lawrence, and Marlon Mack. Were you looking at Trevor Lawrence? As a
Yes, I
possible
was.
backup?
I was waiting
I thought
for
you
him
might
to
have been,
just fall a
looking
little
at
bit
for
farther.
For the backup.
Who is their starter? Dak Prescott.
That's a good backup choice there. I mess with that backup choice. A lot of receivers here. Are you in on any of these guys? Jacoby Myers is the #1 guy in New England.
Yeah.
Is there any chance you look at him here, or
That
Kenny
is
Galladay's
exactly
up there.
the man I'm looking at.
I was gonna say I had Jacoby Myers ranked actually a little bit higher than he's being drafted. I have him as the wide receivers, 49. They just traded away Nikhil Harry. They're clearly shown Devontae Parker. There's been reports that he looks good in camp, but Jacoby Myers has the owners vote with Mac Jones, and AJ went ahead and took him. Jahan Dotson, Kenny Galladay, Tim Patrick, and J.D. McKissick.
I'm also looking at my team here. I have 6 wide receivers. I did not realize that.
Well, but that's what you have to do sometimes. Is you have to, if you're not gonna draft one early. So if you're in your draft and you don't grab one of those first or second round wide receivers that you feel confident in, it's better to maybe load up later in your draft, especially if you drafted those running backs.
Plus, you
early.
can trade them along the line and get better players.
Of course, but if you drafted running backs early, you don't need to get as much depth at that position. You're gonna have to figure out what position you get that. I have, I think like 5 or 6 wide receivers. I only have 4 actually. That's not good, but yeah. So there's a good reason you have that. You only have 4 running backs, but those running backs are all good. You have good running backs, so you didn't have the need to grab the later guys. 2 picks left here, AJ. You don't have a backup quarterback or tight ends.
That's my
Those
final
are
2
going.
picks. And I'm going to go Noah Fant here.
Noah Fant, I like it.
Fant.
And do you have any hesitation drafting him because you already had Tyler Lockett and you now have 2 Seahawks, or was that not even an issue?
That's not an issue. Seahawks are Seahawks. You know, they love to fly.
Okay. David Njoku went right after. Kenneth Gainwell, Devonta Parker, Tyler Higbee, DJ Chark, George Pickens, the rookie in Pittsburgh, Khalil Herbert, and Mark Ingram. I'm looking at this. I need a wide receiver and tight end to close out my draft. I'm looking at Jalen Tolbert, the rookie down in Dallas.
Okay.
If Michael Gallup misses some time, Jalen Tolbert is absolutely the guy to benefit from it. I'm a little interested where I have him here because this could be a bit of a risk. I have him ranked right behind the other rookie, Jahan Dotson. If Michael Gallup misses time, Jalen Tolbert could end up sliding into that role. But there's also McCole Hardman. That's the other guy I'm looking at is McCole Hardman, Kansas City Chiefs. He has the chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. And I think I'm going to take McCole Hardman because he has season-long value. Once Michael Gallup comes back, Tolbert becomes kind of less valuable. The issue with Hardman is how many receivers there are in Kansas City. But I'm fine grabbing him this late because I'm not really putting any real draft value into it. So I'm going to grab him. And for my backup tight ends, I think I'm going to grab Joe Everett for the Chargers. I just want a little bit of Chargers offense. Love me some Justin Herbert.
Exactly.
I'm going to grab Joe Everett and close out my draft. Darrell Williams, Jalen Tolbert, Van Jefferson, Gus Edwards, Terrion Davis-Price, Hayden Hurst, Raheem Mostert, and Jameis Winston, bringing up AJ's last pick.
Mr. Sailing, my favorite quarterback, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson to close out his draft. So if we take a look at our teams here, AJ, can you read off your team first?
I would love to read off my team. Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Leonard Fournette, DJ Moore, Drake London, who is in Paris, AJ Dillon, Tyler Lockett, Christian Kirk, Ronald Jones, Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers, Noah Fant, and my favorite player, Zach Wilson.
I had quarterback Derek Carr, running backs DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, wide receivers Brandon Cooks and Darnell Mooney, Darren Waller at tight ends with Breece Hall in my flex, Rashad Bateman, Rashad Penny, Rashad, that'd be a fun locker room. Kadarius Toney, Justin Fields, Rashad White,
Another Rashad.
McCole Hardman, and Gerald Everett to close out my team. I had a better draft than I expected from the 12th spot. I was a little nervous when we figured it out before the show, and I'm happy with the way my team turned out. Taking Josh Allen early, you're happy with your turnout? You think it worked out?
Yep, I think it worked out.
And I typically don't draft tight ends early, but I'm very happy I grabbed Waller.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think you had the overall safer draft, which is probably going to work over towards the longer season.
Yep.
Because I'm more of a risk taker.
That is very true.
If you look at my team, it is very risky.
And it was interesting, both of us punted the wide receiver position a little bit. You grabbed your first wide receiver in the back of the 4th. I got my first in the back of the 5th.
Yep.
That's not a strategy we always do, but it kind of shows to the testament to how deep the wide receiver pool is.
Exactly.
So when you're sitting there in that first round of your draft.
Like if I'm looking at the 12th pick, I got Jacoby Myers. The 12th round.
Yeah, no.
I got Jacoby Myers. It is very
the wide receiver position is deep. If you're at the top of your draft, it's better to grab, in our opinion, I think we both agree on this, one of those top running backs than one of the top receivers. Even though I love Justin Jefferson, if he had been there at 12, I would have taken him.
Yeah.
But in the top 6 picks, I mean, it's better to go with a running back, and you can load up on wide receivers later. Drop in the comments who you think had the better draft. It'd be very interesting to see who you have.
Drop in the comments. Hey, who had Zach Wilson here? Who had Zach Wilson?
We'll be back next week with an NFC North video.
Yep.
And hopefully after Thursday, I'll have a little breakdown of some preseason football.
And then guess what, man? We're going back to school.
Back to school. Videos will slow down a little bit when school starts, so we hope to still get some out for you guys as the season gets closer. AJ?
Well, we'll probably just do it in one of my classes because we're just watching movies.
Thank you very much, AJ. Thanks for
I'm not
coming, guys. Come back next week. Thank you.
Thank you.